Hello all, as part of Adivasi series which we are doing for anthropology or sociology optional students, which can be also useful in general studies of internal security and social justice and Indian society, as well as in prelims. Compulsory there will be one question on tribals in prelims as well. So one thing I want to discuss today which had hurt me a lot. One forest range officer, FRO, a gazetted officer, a range of gazetted officer was been brutally killed by tribals. So up to now we used to discuss about working or for the welfare of the tribals, working for the tribals, for the development of the tribals. But one thing we should also understand that the forest officials are becoming sandwiched. The forest officials are becoming sandwiched by the policies of the government, pressure of the government, as well as from the tribals also. For example, this particular officer, the forest range officer Challamalla Srinivas Rao, was been killed yesterday by the tribals, adivasis of Gutti Koya, of the people called as Gutti Koya people of Telangana state. One thing I want to remember you that some of the state governments had removed weapons from the forest officers. So because of this reason, one reason this person was been died. So you removed the weapons from the forest officers. Now who will protect them? Who will take care about them? So they need to have their own self-protection. They should have self-defense. Why? Because they are working for the protection and conservation of the forest and environment. At the same time, they also work for tribals as well, but because of podu cultivation, which is called as shifting cultivation, which is popularly called as podu cultivation, where the lands which belongs to the forest were being taken away by the tribals. But traditionally and historically, those lands were being claimed by the tribals as their own lands. But the government, when they took the forest as well as the forest resource as the resource of the state, now the forest comes under the ambit of the state. But the responsibility of protection of the forest is given to the forest officials, but the same forest officials doesn't have the weapons. As they don't have the weapons, they cannot protect themselves, they cannot have self-defense, so the people like Srinivas Rao got killed. So when we work for the tribal development, at the same time we should also have a focus towards the forest officials who are working genuinely for the cause of the nation, for the cause of the state. So this is a classic example of ethics, whereby for the service of the public, for the service of the environment, for the service of the nation, when a few people killed him, when a few people are responsible for his death and the total family, they are responsible for the family of the Srinivas Rao. So at least the respective governments, Telangana government or some other state governments also removed the weapons from the forest officials. Now they have to reinitiate the weapons for the forest officials so that their self-defense will become the priority. Their self-protection will become the priority. Yes, at the same time the protection of the forest environment as well as the care towards the tribals is also important, but sometimes Assyrians or the brutal people, like some section of people within the tribes also, there is a chance to attack them. So in order to protect themselves, yes, there is a need for a defense mechanism. So here we can write as an example that sometimes not only the tribals get exploited by the forest officials, or the forest officials also get injuries, or forest officials also get killed by the tribals. And that particular tribal community name is called as Gutti Koya of Telangana state. And it is a particularly vulnerable tribal group who is also called as primitive tribal group within the tribals of the population of the country. With this, thank you and my deep condolences and rest in peace to Srinivas Rao sir. Thank you. Jai Hind.